Pregame.com.
Bengals at Rams. Cincinnati, 6.5-point road favorite. That's where the line opened. That's where it's at. Total open 38.5 all the way up to 40 as of today. This is Brian's best bet. We'll shoot it right over. Tell me who I'm betting.
I like the ugly dog here. And
the St. Louis Rams, the same Rams that were on Monday Night Football against Seattle, the same Rams that were at the 1-yard line 15 straight times and couldn't punch it in. That Rams?
Yeah, that Rams team.
I like it.
Actually, you know, there's a couple things. I've got a lot of stuff on this game.
We could talk forever.
We could talk forever. Who's ever said that about a Rams-Bengals game? But it's the Monday night overreaction, and we talk about this every week. You've got one team that looked really good this week, Seattle. They've taken money, as Monday night victors always do when they look bad. St. Louis Rams, a team that looked terrible on Monday Night Football.
You don't look worse than that. You don't look worse than that.
Nobody wants them. And if you take a look at the betting logs, 94% of the people who are betting the Cincinnati Bengals, that's after 10,000 wagers, 94% for a road favorite in the touchdown range, they would rather bet on Cincinnati than take St. Louis. St. Louis is a team, their last 7 games, they've beaten the Saints and the Browns. They lose to Arizona, an improving team, by 6 points to 3 points. Now, they were beaten by double digits against Seattle twice and San Francisco. So those are a very good defensive teams, similar to Cincinnati. But you take a look at Cincinnati. They've lost to Pittsburgh twice. They lose to Baltimore. They lose to Houston. Their playoffs are over. I mean, at one point, they had a big season ahead of them.
They had it beautifully.
Yeah.
Even with minutes left last week. You have the lead. You have the game. You have a rookie who has to march down the field with a minute left and beat you. You win that game. You have St. Louis up on deck. Baby, you're sitting at 9-5 and in the driver's seat. Instead, you're outside looking in.
Yeah, you take a look at the defenses that Cincinnati's plays of late. Houston, Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland, Baltimore, Tennessee, Seattle. I mean, you got to be worn down offensively by this time of the season. And all these games for the last 6 weeks have meant so much to the Bengals. When was the last time the Bengals had games that can actually say meant something? It's been a long time. St. Louis, as I said, these teams that look bad on Monday Night Football, they're big bets the next week. And with the entire nation playing a road favorite of close to a touchdown.
They're loving them.
The line's not moving. It went from 6.5 to 6, 6.5. It's bouncing back and forth.
I think it'll get to 7 when the public gets involved Sunday.
I agree. But there's if you get 94% on a road team and you're moving a half a point, I mean, there's some big money bet on this ugly dog.
This ain't the New England Patriots on the road.
Not at all.
This is Cincinnati on the road getting all that money.
The Bengals, speaking about that, the Bengals haven't covered as a road favorite of more than 3 points since 2006. More than 3. They're going to be laying 7 come Sunday. I think
Ken Anderson and Chris Collinsworth were hooking it up back then.
Well, let's just hope they play this week, because then St. Louis will win straight up.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say St. Louis wins this game. I made my true line 4. Bengals -4. Add a point for bias, make it 5. Now you add in the Monday night bias. That's why this line's 6.5.
That's crazy.
There's no reason for it based on true power ratings. Cincinnati's just not that good of a team, and they've showed against those good teams why they're mediocre at best. I'm not saying St. Louis are world beaters, but when Cincinnati played decent teams, they didn't do well. During that stretch, their only win was against the Browns by 3 points.
3 points.
At home.
Yep.
Now, their season's done, man. They got nothing to play for. They ain't got no hopes of the playoffs. Anybody in reality, living not in dreamland, knows they're not going to the playoffs. And now you got to go in there and play the St. Louis Rams. This looks like a letdown spot for me. I mean, this is a beautiful letdown spot for them to just give up on the season, and for St. Louis to try to get a home win. In 2 of the last 3 games at home, St. Louis played pretty damn well. They lost by 3 to Arizona, and they beat the New Orleans Saints.
Right.
Their only bad showing at home in the last couple weeks was that loss to Seattle Seahawks at home, 24-3, 24-7. Otherwise, they've played well there. I like them in this spot, and something you've taught me, when you got 2 bad teams that have nothing to play for, take a look at the over first, because it takes effort to play defense, and usually when you have no reason to play, you're playing schoolyard sandlot football, and that turns into points. I like the over in this spot. I think we're getting extra value because of how bad that St. Louis offense looked on Monday night. I think the wise guys saw that number of 38.5, believed it should be closer to 40, 41, and jumped on the over right away. I agree with them. You have two teams with nothing to play for, more or less, and more importantly, you have two turnover-prone teams. Each of these teams have given up 10 turnovers in their last 5 games. They average 2 turnovers a game. Turnovers turn into points. Points turn into the over. Lack of defense turns into the over. I like the over. Your best bet is St. Louis. I'm not going against it. I agree with it. I like your Rams pick, man.
Yeah, this sets up really well. If this game gets to 7, like I project, could be a really big play for my clients this weekend.
I love it, man. I love it. All you teaser bettors out there that are waiting to collect that free money on Cincinnati, be careful. This Rams dog just might bark. That ugly, ugly, ugly Rams team. His best bet, that took balls, man. That's going to do it for this week's videos. Enjoy the games. Do some damage. Have great bowl season ahead. Enjoy the holidays.